Hello, everyone. It is Tuesday, July the 30th, and I hope you're having a fantastic day today. The show's going to be fantastic. I'm excited. We're going to talk about millennial dating, even though I don't even. Am I a millennial? I don't know what the thing is. I think I'm a millennial. We're going to talk about dating. I'm going to talk about Talk the Bounty Hunter and maybe a couple other TV shows I've been obsessed with recently. But I'm genuinely excited to bring you this block of entertainment. Thank you very much for listening, wherever you may be listening, however you may be listening. And yeah, remember to follow the show on all forms of, I don't know, podcast hosting things. Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Google Play. I'm everywhere, baby. Also, follow me on social media. Both at names are Franco's World underscore. And yeah, just thank you guys very much. And I hope you enjoy today's program. All right, let's get this rolling. All right, we're back and we're going to answer everyone's questions, for those that ask, about dating. I'm a dating guru of sorts. So let's get right into the questions. Remember, I always put the questions on my Instagram story weekly. And so thank you to anyone who has ever asked a question to help the show grow. So the first question comes to us from I Am, who says, how important is your family's opinion of a girl to you? I know it shouldn't matter, but to me it kind of does because it's two separate people that I care about, and I'm gonna want them to get along. So, I mean, obviously I have the final say in whatever like I believe in. That's what I'm gonna believe in. But if my family's just like, you know what, we don't think that person's right for you, man, then it might be a little voice in the back of my head. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe that means I'm easily influenced, but maybe that also means that I care about their opinion. I care about my family's opinion. And speaking of families and dating, I don't know if I could handle it if my future missus just had a banana land family. Like if they were just off the wall, berserk, crazy. Holidays would be an absolute nightmare. I'd feel like that guy in Four Christmases. I'd feel like Vince Vaughn in Four Christmases whenever he comes over to like, well, I guess both families, but the one whenever he goes over to his wife's house or whatever, and then they're all playing around, and like it's just a bunch of old catty women yelling, and he's just sitting there, just like listening to all these stories, and then all of a sudden a baby throws up on him, and he freaks out. And he's like, oh, "I love you, but you got to get out of here. You got to get out," because that's gonna be me. Like I'm a germophobic guy. So it's like if a baby throws up on me, I'm just like, honey, I love you, but you got to get out of here because I'm going to lose it. You got to get out of here. Vince Vaughn and his ramble talking. He kills me, man. All right. Yeah, but the family opinion is important. And my sister is harder on me about dating than my parents are. Honestly, my parents are just like, hey, as long as like they treat you right, then honestly we don't care. But like my sister, she'll critique you. Okay. I hate to say it, but I think my sister just like wants me to be with someone that uh if I want to be with someone, but wants me to be with someone that she can be friends with also. I think so. It's like maybe this means my sister doesn't have any friends. Hear that, sis? Do you have any friends? Yeah, I think she just wants someone to like hang out and go shopping with. Honestly, that's probably what it is. Okay, moving on to the next question. Next question comes to us from, oh my god, it actually comes to us from my sister. Well, that's ironic. Okay. Um, which Shake Shack is closest to my go-to on a date? What did you write this at 4 in the morning or something? This makes zero sense, sis. Which Shake Shack is closest to my to go on a date? What? I have no idea what you're trying to say right there. Which Shake Shack is closest to? I'm assuming. Okay, let's read it differently. Which Shake Shack is closest to me to go on a date? My sister has been obsessed with Shake Shack. I've never been. There's one in the King of Prussia Mall, which isn't very far from where I'm at. I don't even think I've been to that mall, but apparently it's like just as big as Mall of America or something like that, but without the roller coasters. And I'm not a roller coaster guy because I get like motion sickness. I can't do it. Even driving past roller, like there's an amusement park not far from me. Whenever I see like roller coasters going up in the air, like I'm like, oh gosh, like I kind of freak out a little bit. There's a Shake Shack there, and the only reason I know this is because you told me that, sis. You told me that there was one there. She's obsessed with it. And we're not big red meat eating family. We're not big carnivorous people. We're like birds. We eat like birds. The Miller family tree eats like a bird would, except for my dad, who eats like some sort of oxen. I guess the nearest one is to me. Bring the kiddos, bring the niece and nephew and the husband, and you guys can all come hang out with me because I haven't seen you in forever. This is a cry for help, sis. Please. Best date. Okay, next question comes from AS, who asks, best date spot in your opinion. Now that's all relative. Picking out a best date spot is very dependent on where you live. I think I'm fantastic at picking out date ideas and date spots. Okay. Let me just break down where I'm at and places that I've been on quote unquote dates, and you decide if they're good or not. So one place I've been to was a brewery. I went on a brewery tour. That was awesome. It was actually more informative and more laid back than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be about like the science and everything, but it was like, the tour guide was nice and all that stuff. And then the gift store was gift shop, idiot. The gift shop was cool because you could play cornhole there, and they had a bunch of like artifacts from like the old, how like they originally brewed it and all that stuff. It was pretty cool. Then another date I went to a minor league baseball game. That's just casual, but I spiced it up a little bit because, it's kind of boring. Games last like 3.5 hours and you got to sit there and it's a nightmare. So it's like, we're going to go to the minor league baseball game, but there's seats out in left field that are like some sort of grassy knoll, and we're going to sit on that instead and bring a blanket, and it's going to be nice, as opposed to sitting on the plastic seats and being uncomfortable and getting stepped over by Tommy Bahama with a plate of nachos and 2 Budweisers. He's got a tank top and back hair on and nothing else. Other dates I went on. Let me think. Oh, a beach. You can always go on a beach date, like, I don't know, whatever you bring to the beach. That's another one. But it just depends on where you're at. So, like, if say I'm in like New Orleans, like we're gonna go to a crawfish boil. Like that's gonna be something fun that we could do as a couple. Maybe we're in Austin, Texas, and we go to some big concert venue. It just depends on what you and your person that you're going with like to do. And you could go in a movie, but the best date spot, in my opinion. Okay, so I guess we're getting to that. That was tough. That's tough. Honestly, so I went to a spot. Honestly, not a couple days ago. It was pretty nice, and it was like some ski mountainous resort. And me and the person I went on a date on, we it was a nice, beautiful evening. We dressed decently, and we you sit there, you have a nice meal, have a couple of drinks, you sit there and just have nice casual conversation. There's like candlelight, moonlight, there are firelight because there's like tiki torches or what? Not tiki torches. This is more fancy than that. I don't know. It's some sort of open flame. You look nice under the firelight, and you just have a nice, casual, elegant evening together. That's probably a really nice date for me. You go out to a nice, cute little drink spot. Maybe it has a nice view, some mountains, and you just enjoy each other's company. And that's really what it all boils down to in terms of dating. Just doing whatever. I don't know. I heard somebody said that you should date like you own the company as opposed to dating like you want to keep your job. If that makes sense for you guys. But, anyways, just do whatever you want to do, or that you both want to do, that you think you'll have a good time. There's no one particular spot that's a good one. Okay. JP asks, if you were dating someone, are there any quote unquote red flags that would immediately make you say, quote unquote, bye, see you later, I can't deal with that? An instant cutoff, basically. Uh, yeah. Okay. Uh, any sort of lie out of the gate, any sort of trickery, thievery, snakeness. That's I'm out of there. Uh, I like people that are goal driven. I don't like people that are just stagnant. I like people that have their mind set on on the type of person that they want to be. Like I want to you have to know who you are. Knowing who you are is hard, and it'll take time. But like you gotta like I don't know. I like to plan stuff out more. So I guess being less like free spirited, like I'm at blah blah blah, kind of just going with the flow. Going with the flow makes me so anxious. I cannot stand going with the flow. I have to have every little minute detailed out for me to be comfortable in any situation. Okay. Okay, here's a red flag. If we go on a date and and you're mean to the server, that's gonna confuse me a little bit. That's gonna confuse me a little bit. Also, if we sit down at the table and you don't sit across from me, you decide to sit beside of me. You have the four spots on the table and they sit in the two beside each other. That's gonna be a little bit creepy. I saw a couple do that the other day at that resort date that I was on. I was honestly distracted. I got distracted. And I said to the person, I was like, that couple over there just sat beside each other. That's really weird. That's how you separate. I guarantee you those people were on their first date or an early date because they sat beside of each other and that they probably just like saw that in movies and were just like, or on like The Bachelor or something. And they were just like, oh, you know what? That would be cute. Let's do that together. No one does that. People think it's weird if you do that. Honestly, sit across from each other and talk like normal people. Okay. I don't get the side by side sitting. I don't get a lot of things that people do when dating, if I'm being honest. I don't get the constant schmoozing on Instagram and Twitter. I don't get the name in the bio thing. I don't get the. I think making someone your Twitter header could be the creepiest thing of all time. It's like, hey, here's my page, and here's this person eyeball overlooking my entire life. I always thought a good relationship would be two individual people that enjoy spending time together. I honestly have no idea, but that just don't make no sense to me. I guess I don't know. I find it weird when the people are just obsessed with each other. I don't know. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. Like, if that's what type of relationship you're in, that's fine. Different strokes for different folks. I just don't think I would be okay in that type of situation. I would feel, what's the word? No, the one whenever you feel like trapped. I would feel claustrophobic. That's what it is. I would feel claustrophobic, and I get super anxious when I'm claustrophobic. I just am claustrophobic. I'd feel like restricted. So it's like here. I know this is kind of off topic, but like even when I'm sitting in traffic, my hands will start like shaking if like I'm like boxed in on like the highway. I just get so anxious being claustrophobic. I think we've covered just about everything on millennial dating. It's been like 15 minutes. The show's about halfway over. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit because we haven't had an episode solely based on that. But whenever I get back, we're going to get into the real meat and potatoes. We're going to talk about televisione. And everyone knows I love old school television. And I've been obsessed with a couple TV shows lately. And you'll get to hear about them very soon. I'll see you in a second. And we're back. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Franco's World _ and tell all your friends about Franco's World on all podcast, listening sites. One quick thing about sports. Football is picking back up. Training camps have opened up for the NFL. I'm more of a college football fan, but I'll watch the occasional NFL game. Furthermore on that, Can anyone hear that motorcycle go by? I doubt it. But if you're an adult human and you don't have a child present with you at the time, and you go to an NFL training camp and watch grown men practice, you're a psychopath. There was a recent video came out of some woman at Carolina Panthers training camp just absolutely losing her marbles over Christian McCaffrey, oh my gosh, please sign my hat. This reminds me of if Christian McCaffrey ever wrecks his car, God forbid, in North Carolina, this woman is gonna pull a Misery. If anyone's ever seen that movie, with the guy Paul, the writer who wrecks his car, and then Misery like straps him to the bed and like breaks his knees with the sledgehammer so he can't leave, and she's just got him trapped all to herself, and she forces him to like finish a book that he didn't get, like an ending of a book that she didn't like. He gets to rewrite it for her. It's really creepy. But yeah, this woman is basically just going to kidnap him, is what I'm trying to say, and tie Christian McCaffrey down and I don't know, make him like run routes in the backyard for her pleasure. I have no idea. I think if you go to an NFL training camp as a grown human adult without bringing a child to experience some sort of sporting activity together as parent and child, you're insane. Hate me all you want, but you can't say I'm wrong. Okay, moving on to television. I have been obsessed with Dog the Bounty Hunter lately. I'm willing to admit that. I love everything about him. I watched him a little bit before, and then I heard about his wife's passing, and then they had a marathon on A&E, so I got on that, and now I download the A&E app, so when I come home from work, I watch old episodes of Dog the Bounty Hunter. The guy is an electric factory. The Bounty Hunter. The intro song's amazing. First off, he's like Apache mixed with white Colorado guy mixed with Hawaiian. But like he's just like, hey brother, go with Christ, brother. You need a cigarette, brah? Hey, aloha, brother. Thanks, brother. I definitely have been doing that around the office lately, like saying like aloha and calling everyone brother or bro or brah. Hey, brah. Dog the Bounty Hunter is the man, dude. He wears those Oakley sunglasses at all times on his forehead. He doesn't wear them, he just wears them on his forehead. He's got that sweet mullet. He wears these like bicep Native American bands that are awesome. No shirt on, bulletproof vest, little cowboy steel toe boots. The guy's just awesome. He's an electric factory. But the funny thing is that I don't think he does really any work. He sits in the back of like cars and like pages people and he's like, hey, 10-4, brah. Like, check out this car, brah. They can't really do anything. Like, they're not police. Like, they can't speed to go like get a person. Like, they can't like shoot them or anything. Or like, they can barely arrest them, I feel like. They have to like zip tie them or something. I don't think they mace people anymore. I think they just like tackle them. But the thing is, like, they have a whole crew. They're, you know, like his sons, like Dwayne Lee and Leland, his wife Beth, somebody they call Baby or something. Baby Cindy, Baby Lucy, Baby somebody. Well, I really wish I knew what it was. Baby something, but it's not important. But anyways, oh, and then there's this old like skinny guy named Bobby who I like a lot. But so that whenever they go and catch these people, like Dog will just scream at them, be like, "Go get that guy! Go get that guy!" And like the only person that does anything is Leland. Like Leland does all the work. Lily, as they call him. Go ahead, Lily. Go get him, brother. Like he's the one who hunts down all the people. Without him, the show would be nothing, and he gets not a lot of credit. He doesn't get enough screen time. Dog is the star of the show, and I get that. But I would be able to outrun any of those people. The only person I wouldn't be able to outrun was Leland. I remember one episode I watched, he couldn't come into the show because he was like hungover or something like that, and he couldn't make it. And then they were getting all mad, like, well, this guy's going to be really tough to catch, but we don't have our whole team here. When we have something, we're supposed to have our whole team here. Leland is the only one that runs the people down and can tackle them and pin them and put the handcuffs on them, put them back to the car. He's the only one that does it. The only reason that Beth is around was to drive. The only reason that Dwayne Lee was around to, like, if it was like a close combat situation, he'd probably be good at that because he can't run. Dog can barely do a lot. He's kind of strong. He kind of just comes in and like screams at the people, but he'll scream at the people and then immediately just be like, get on the freaking ground now. We're gonna mace you. I promise you that. Do you need a cigarette, bro? Go with Christ. I love you, brother. Like, he'll scream at them, but he'll scream like negative and then instant positive things. And then as soon as he gets them in the back of the van or the car or whatever, the Escalade, he like flips the switch and he's like, hey, brah, I was there, 18 years old, brother. You don't want this, brah. You don't want this life, brother. I was there, man. 18. I already been to jail, man. The 6x6 cell, brah. You don't want this. Stop doing this. Drugs, bro. He talks like that. I don't get it. It's like, you want to make fun of him, but in the same sense, he's like a nice guy. So it's like, you can't make fun of him. I'm not going to make fun of him. I think he's awesome. I honestly might get a fat head poster of them, of Dog, and just put it in my house. Beware of Dog. Get a sign like that. Like those ones that you see in like trailer parks. All right, so that's about that on Dog the Bounty Hunter. Everyone should give it a watch and let me know what you think about it, because I honestly am obsessed with that show. And the other show I have been watching excessively, other than comedians in cars getting coffee, has been Holy Moly. Yes, Holy Moly. For those that don't know what it is a game show on ABC that is mini golf, but it's crazy holes. Mini golf is awesome. Oh, that's a good date idea. There you go. There's another one. Go mini golf. Let her win, though, or whoever. Let him win. Whoever you are. And not important. Let the person you're taking out win. Make them feel good about themselves. Then go for ice cream later. Holy Moly. And it's hosted by Joe Tessitore and Rob Riggle. Steph Curry pops in every now and again. But the reason I love this show is because you can tell that the commentators, the main stars of the show, are like, there's no way this is like gonna like last more than one season or whatever. Because the jokes that they are cracking kill me. They are peppering the contestants on this, just telling them how like stupid they look or something. Like one girl was like 18 and she's like, they were like, what's your job? She's like, oh, I'm an actor. And they're like, okay, so we have a server and a like engineer versus each other today. Like they just kept calling her like a server as opposed to an actor, and that was pretty funny. They just like pepper people, like they're nice about it, but yeah, they'll take some digs. I just love that when shows are very like aware. I love very self-aware videos, like any sort of like comedy thing where people are like, oh yeah, we're so big, like definitely everyone is gonna watch this. Like that type of stuff I like, because it's like they're making it just because they want to, and like they don't really care about what everybody else. They're just having fun while doing it. I think that's what it all boils down to, is I like watching people have fun. Carefree, genuine fun. That's what I like. I don't really care. Like you can tell. I think if you watch enough, you can tell when people are trying too hard and when it's manufactured and it's not as organic, if you want to use that word. I don't know. Holy Moly. The only reason I like Holy Moly is like the golf stinks. Everyone stinks on that show because the holes are impossible. Steph Curry, he's okay, fine. He can hang out. I don't care. But honestly, I think I just like it because Rob Riggle and Joe Tessitore just being goofy. All right, it has been 24 minutes. I think I'm going to talk about baseball the last couple minutes or so. But I'm going to get some water real quick because talking about Dog the Bounty Hunter has me parched. So I will be back in a second. So thank you very much for listening and laughing. All right. This last 5 minutes is going to get somewhat personal, somewhat deep, somewhat funny, somewhat a lot of things. So, yeah, listen if you want, don't if you don't. Okay, I guess we'll just start off with baseball. Um, so the Pittsburgh Pirates will. I just don't foresee them ever winning anything important under the current administration, and it's not necessarily the baseball operations side of things because they're hamstrung. Like they have to play with one hand tied behind their back because of the financial constraints. And I think it might go back to ownership solely. It's just a drunken sailor franchise that is just going to do the same thing over and over and over again. And they think they're the smartest guy in the room, but they're not. They might have been the smartest guy in the room in 2012 and 2013, but they're just not anymore. And it's sad. And it's sad for the people of Pittsburgh. They're such a loyal fan base, and like they love the Pirates. It's just that they hate the fact that they're just atrocious year after year. They had to sit through 20. Can you imagine having to sit through 21? Okay, here's the deal. They sat through 21 losing seasons in a row from the 90s until 2013 when they had their first winning season forever. They made the playoffs and won one playoff game. It should have won a series, but that's neither here nor there. Back then, 2012, 2013, they were one of the smartest people in the room. And now everyone else has gotten that technology and gotten more advanced technology, and now they're just not. And they're still trying to do these things that clearly aren't working. You're trying to turn a guy like Chris Archer, who's like a slider strikeout pitcher, into he's like a fastball slider guy, into a two-seam contact guy. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why I'm talking about like science and stuff like that. So my job right now is in baseball, and that's why I'm up here. And I think I'm done after this season. And I know it's only one season, but I think I'm just going to go head first and do jokes. And that's what I genuinely love, and that's what I genuinely care about. And I think that's the reason I can just tell, doing what I do day in, day out, I can just feel myself, like, I've been saying it for a while. I just don't feel like I'm funny as much anymore. But I feel like lately, the past month or so, I can feel that comedic muscle being worked out more. Like, I used to be able to just drive by a street sign and somehow think of a joke about it, or like everyday situations, find the humor in them. And now, it's coming back now, but like there for a while, man, it was just like, I don't know. I just feel like I lost it. Like today, like I was in the grocery store and I saw a guy in the banana section. He picked off one of the bananas from like the vine or whatever you call it, and like just left it there, like, because he wanted 4 instead of 5. And I thought of a joke like a Seinfeld, like, who is gonna eat? Who needs 4 instead of 5? Oh, what am I gonna eat? Just one loose banana? I go into the grocery store. Oh, I only need one banana. There it is. Something stupid like that. But at least it's not, that itself isn't funny, but you know what I mean. I'm able to get to a funny point at all things in life, and that's what I want to do. So after my letter of intent, contract, whatever you call it, time up here is done, I get to do jokes more seriously. And I think part of the problem was I was trying to balance 2 careers at once. I wanted to make a career out of jokes, but I also wanted to have a real life career. And having a real life career in something like baseball and trying to do literally anything as another career is impossible. So I think that's just on me being like young and dumb, just trying to do too much at once. But I'm excited. This is a very exciting chapter of my life. Like, young, single, never in trouble, no kids, no nothing. I get to do whatever it is I want to do. It's great. Like, yeah, I have student loans. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have to have a job so to be able to afford a building to live in. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun time. I'm excited to see where it takes me. So thank you very much for listening to today's show. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Franco_, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good day.